Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Mrs. Laura Bush, and the National Teacher of the Year, Andrea Peterson.
Congratulations, Andrea. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to all our Teachers of the Year. Today, as we celebrate your accomplishments, we honor excellent teachers across our nation for their dedication and hard work. I know the characteristics of great teachers. You have extraordinary energy and enthusiasm and superb organizational skills. School people are people. You have the ability to interact and respect hundreds of different personalities every single day. I've seen this energy and enthusiasm, not to mention great resolve, in the teachers I've met across the Gulf Coast. Today gives me a chance to thank those teachers who've worked to reopen their schools as quickly as possible. Gulf Coast teachers have comforted students in stable, nurturing classrooms, even as they're living in FEMA trailers themselves. These teachers and the outstanding teachers who are here today remind us that teaching is the greatest public service. Across our country, excellent teachers show children that there's an adult who cares about them, respects them, and believes in them. It's a lesson that stays with students for a lifetime. Now I'd like to introduce someone I know who cares for, respects, and believes in our teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, my husband, President George W. Bush. Congratulations, Andrea.
She forgot to add, and loves a teacher. I made a good move when I married a teacher, and Laura and I are honored to welcome you here to the Rose Garden. Thanks for coming, and thanks for teaching. This is a special day for all who care deeply about education, because we fully understand that without a good teacher, it's hard to achieve national goals and objectives. And so the Teacher of the Year ceremony is a chance to pay homage to some really fine public servants and great Americans. So we welcome you. Appreciate the Secretary of Education joining us. I want to thank Congressman John Bozeman and his wife Kathy from Arkansas. We thank Jay Inslee from Washington for joining us. Thank you, Congressman. Dennis Moore and Stephanie from Kansas have joined us, as is Rick Larson from Washington. I wonder why all these Washington congressmen have joined us. Laura and I just had a chance to thank every state teacher of the year. It's an honor to welcome you to the Oval Office. It is a shrine to democracy and a wonderful place to give our personal thanks to a job well done. I do want to recognize the finalists this year, Justin Minkle from Arkansas, Josh Anderson from Kansas, Tamara Tion from New Mexico, Andrea Peterson, the Teacher of the Year. And we got to recognize Joel, the husband of the Teacher of the Year. Thank you, Joel. And Mom and Dad. I'm going to say something about Mom and Dad in a minute. I want to thank Jean Wellhoyt, Executive Director of the Council of Chief State School Officers, for sponsoring this event. Rhonda Mims, the President of ING Foundation. Tom Waldron, the Executive Vice President of ING. And all the Chief State School Officers here today. Thanks for coming. Thanks for honoring the teachers. And when we really think about it, few professionals have as direct an impact on our future as our teachers. Teachers are among our children's first role models, counselors, and friends. Teachers awaken young minds, and teachers encourage ingenuity and unleash fertile imaginations. It's demanding work to be a teacher, even during its best moments. Sometimes teachers come across students who require them to summon every last ounce of patience and understanding. When those times come, I just ask you to remember, one day that student may become the president. We ask a lot of our teachers, and we owe them a lot in return. One of the first priorities as president was to work with members of both parties to pass what's called the No Child Left Behind Act. I can't tell you how important this act is to make sure every child learns to read, write, and add and subtract. The act insists upon high standards, standards that you all set in your classrooms, otherwise you wouldn't be a teacher of the year. It says that it's important to measure, to determine whether or not our children are learning and meeting standards. Measurement is not a tool to punish. Measurement is a tool to correct and reward. The No Child Left Behind Act is working. In reading, 9-year-olds have made more progress in 5 years than the previous 28 years combined. A president couldn't report that to the nation unless we actually measured to determine whether that was true. In math, 9-year-olds and 13-year-olds have earned their highest test scores ever. In both reading and math, African American and Hispanic students are scoring higher and beginning to close the achievement gap with their peers. The structure of the No Child Left Behind Act, the strategy of the act, makes a lot of sense. And that's why the Congress needs to reauthorize this good law. But the act wouldn't be working without really dedicated teachers making sure our children learn. Teaching is more than a profession, it's a calling. And that calling came early to our Teacher of the Year. Andrea Peterson knows the importance of education in her life. After all, as she explained to me in the Oval Office, her first role model was her dad, who has taught for more than 30 years. And we welcome you. And we congratulate you on being such a fine dad that your daughter stands here in the Rose Garden as the National Teacher of the Year. Andrea's got 2 sisters-in-law who are teachers and a mother-in-law who's a teacher. This is a family that really cares about good grammar. I probably wouldn't do all that well at the dinner table. When you come from a family of teachers, you tend to develop a lifelong appreciation of learning, and more importantly, it enables you to find creative ways to instill that appreciation in others. Andrea has done a lot of amazing work as a music teacher at Monte Cristo Elementary School in Granite Falls, Washington. In her 10 years at Monte Cristo, she has built an impressive music program, almost from scratch. She helped the school purchase instruments, organize an after-school choir, and helped obtain computer programs that allow students to compose their own music. She has integrated music education into other subjects. She's taken novels that children were reading in other classes and turned them into musical productions. She's used musical notes to explain fractions. She's helped students reach out to the community by developing a music program that honored local veterans. She's used music to reach students who are not doing well in the traditional classroom setting. She's more than a music teacher. One parent said of Andrea this: Mrs. Peterson is passionate about her job, and it shows. In fact, like any good teacher, Andrea juggles responsibilities that would exhaust all of us. For example, in the past few months, she's taught classes full-time. She carried out her obligations as Washington State Teacher of the Year and took part in the National Teacher of the Year activities. And to top it all off, 4 weeks ago, she gave birth to a daughter named Faith. It's what we call multitasking. Faith probably doesn't know it yet, but she's lucky to have a mom and a dad like the Petersons. There are a few other teachers who I think deserve mention today, and those are the teachers at Virginia Tech. They did all they could to protect their students from a day of horror, and they're doing all they can to help them heal in the aftermath. One teacher gave his life by using his body to barricade a classroom door while his students jumped to safety from windows. Americans everywhere hold the teachers and students and parents of the Virginia Tech community in our thoughts and in our prayers. This tragedy has affected at least one of the teachers here in a very personal way, and that would be Susan Evans, who earned her master's degree at Virginia Tech. And we thank you for wearing the Virginia Tech scarf today. Our nation is still seeking to make sense of this tragedy, and so are America's children. In fact, one of your hardest jobs is to explain horrific acts to the students. It's a hard job, but I want to thank America's teachers for comforting and encouraging our nation's youth during difficult moments such as the tragedy at Virginia Tech. We're fortunate to have teachers like we do in America, men and women who are drawn to the classroom with a desire to serve something larger than themselves. So on behalf of a grateful nation, I thank you for your hard work and your dedication. I thank you for preparing our young children for the challenges of the 21st century. And I thank you for all you do every day to help build a better America. Congratulations and welcome to the White House.
Come getting it.
Sure. Congratulations, Andrea.
And now my honor to bring to the mic the Teacher of the Year, Andrea Peterson.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. President. And thank you and Mrs. Bush for inviting us here to celebrate what is the best and brightest in education in America. Let me first say that it is the greatest honor to be standing here today representing such an amazing group of teachers. After spending time with and hearing of the accomplishments of these 55 individuals, I am deeply humbled to be chosen to speak on their behalf. All of these teachers present today are here because they have served their community in spectacular ways. As I consider their achievements, I am reminded of a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love." This message was impressed upon me at an early age by my father, a veteran teacher of 34 years. Growing up, I was constantly aware of the powerful effect his service had on his students, their family, and our community. From physical education teacher to minister to special education teacher, my dad's life has been a constant model of creating community through service. He serves his community, like all the teachers here today, by teaching children how to succeed in life. I applaud you and all the other amazing educators in America who stand in the gap for their students. It is this focus on service that is the key to furthering education in the United States. As a representative for our nation's teachers, I will be an advocate for community involvement in education. 10 years ago, I decided to serve the community of Granite Falls, Washington. At that time, the resources for teaching music were almost non-existent. Consequently, my building principal and I developed a K-12 music plan for growth. We fervently believed that to inspire children to succeed, we needed to have program and curricular goals that would be supported philosophically and financially. Throughout this process, I presented these needs to our superintendent, our building principals, our school board. When the district finances were not sufficient to achieve these goals, I garnered financial support from our school's learning improvement team, associated student body, parent groups, and many community organizations. It was only through the continued effort of all of these parties, educators, parents, and community members, that our students are achieving beyond expectation. In order to see America's children achieve, we need to hear from the whole community. Walt Whitman once wrote, "I hear America singing, the varied carols I hear, each singing but what belongs to him or her and to no one else, singing with open mouths their strong, melodious songs." Each person here has a unique song to sing. Let us raise our voices to help America's children succeed. I know the 56 remarkable teachers here today will eagerly contribute their song to a national conversation about what is important in education. We all need to work together so that no student, no teacher, no school, and indeed no nation is left behind. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job. Really well done. Get your dad up here and go. Come on, guys. Come on, Laura. You're pretty good. What do you think, Dad? Congratulations.